Hey, how's it going? Welcome back, and here's the next video in the 1978 Kawasaki Z1R restoration, where I am going to restore the forks and change out the wheel bearings. I think that's what's in this one. So thank you for tuning in. I don't think it's particularly exciting, but if you want to know what it takes to restore one of these old bikes, you know, I don't show every little thing. This is just kind of a flavor of what it's like. A lot of the stuff is very tedious, but you know, enjoy. I did find a replacement rim, which are hard to come by, 18-inch. Most of the rims out there are 19-inch. It was like 1978, 1 year, Z1R, front rim, 18. And the guy who's going to paint it had one. So I'm taking the bearings out.
Getting ready to refinish it.
That. Here's the collar. Here's the rear wheel. Let's see. Puller's just coming out. Let me reset. Let's try this.
Here we go.
So you get this thing goes into the bearing and it spreads out to hook it. This makes it spread out. As you can see here, it's got a cone kind of. Can't forget this.
Come on. Retaining clip. before I snap. What here is that? Not what I love.
Let's try this. I think that moved it. Yep, that moved it. There it is. Well, I've got the fork lowers here for the Z1R, and if they look a little funny, it's because I smeared them with paint remover. The Z1R fork lowers are supposed to be polished, like that. So, and I didn't know that actually. I thought they were black, so I was just gonna wire wheel it and repaint it, but I'm going to be a little more careful and try to get this paint off of there. And let's see, I don't know that I'll film all of it because I don't want the camera to get any crap on it. This has been on there for 45 minutes. It's not coming off with the toothbrush. Off. Scotch Brite. I mean, I'm tempted to get out a wire brush, but then again, I could just wire wheel it. Trying not to wire wheel it because I didn't want to get the wire marks.
The aluminum, or whatever this is. I do have a sandblaster. I also have a vapor blaster. Vapor super blaster isn't quite tuned in yet. I think I probably would do this in the sandblaster. You see any of that? It's coming off. Did it come up the scotch right?
It's one thing that a sandblaster is great at, or vapor blast or whatever. Get all these nooks and crannies. Oh, it's just takes forever to get those little areas. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of go do this. I don't think I need to film all of it. So this is what it looks like. Well, I want to show it before. So yeah, paint stripper. Then I use some acetone and a Scotch-Brite pad. I usually don't do this. I usually wire wheel them with a light wire wheel. I'm trying this method. As long as you break the chemical bond of the paint, it should come off. So this is what I'm starting with. There's a big scratch on there. I'm gonna have to try to sand that out. But that's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like when it comes out. Kind of an inconsistent coating, but it's not super scratched up. You can get like every nook and cranny. Way better than sandpaper or wire wheel. And then after it's polished, it should look like this. It should look better than that because that one I polished about a year and a half ago. But that's the idea. I can't really show the blasting because once you're doing it, it's all mist in there. But take my word for it, I'm doing it. Still some right there. I can still faintly see it. Okay, so that's 60 grit. Some 120 on there. It's kind of a Scotch-Brite. It's pretty smooth. So this is on the inside of the fork, where you're not going to see, and this is the right side fork. So what's really bad is that, hopefully the camera picks this up, I don't know if you can see it. There's a big gouge right there, and it's deeper right there. So I got to try to take that out, and then there's a small one there, and it's a little dinged up right there. There's a divot there. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but for this right here, this will stand out, because when you approach the bike, if this is supposed to be, you know, like nice and mirror kind of finish, it's going to look lousy. So let's see what I can do with this. So I'll go back to 60 grit. Grit is pretty nasty. Well, like that it looked okay, and then I'm touching it and it's like shit. So here I think these are the gouges from the 60 grit, so let's see if I can touch that up a little better. Well, I've switched to sandpaper. This is the one I was working on. 120, 220, 400, 600, and I'm not sure if I did 800. I think I did a little bit of 800. It's pretty smooth. So the gouge was right there, and it's gone. Can't feel it. You can see a little warp in there, but that's okay. So that, as long as it will polish. The other one was here, that's pretty much gone. That might be a little bit of it. So I think this one is ready to polish. This one was the worst one. Now I'm working on the other one. So it's lots of this. And I won't take up the storage. So like I said, I went the sandpaper route and tried to get as many of the big marks out of it I could. I went 120 on the gouges, and then 220, 400, 600, 800. And you're concentrating on the part that you look at when you see the bike. So the fork is going to sit like that. And so you see primarily this face and this face. The inside, you never see it really, because it's hidden by the disc and the tire. So this is, I don't know how well it's going to pick it up, but this is after sanding. And then I first pass on the buffer with the coarsest polish, which is called the black. It's called the black. It's a piece of black stuff. I don't know what the hell it does. That's this one. So now I'm going to go do the red. Since I want this one to look really nice, I'll go with this 4 different ones. So black, red, blue, and then white. Does it really make a difference? I don't know. Maybe I'll show a little bit of the buffing, but it's very tedious and it takes hours. What is it? Yeah. I'm going to try the red, and then I'll probably quit for the night. So here's after the red. Starting to get that glassy look. It's looking pretty nice, I think. You can, if you look up close, you can still see scratches. But this is never going to be perfect. It's 42 years old. It's been beaten to hell. It looked worse. And this is the better one. I'm curious to see what this is going to look like. There's that finish, and then this is what I'm starting with. Okay, on to blue. Alright, so this is the red. So I did the black already. Here we go. Pretty good. Anyway, that's the flavor of it. So here's something kind of what kind of thing you deal with an old bike that unfortunately spent some time outside. So I have my vapor blaster, and can you see? Let's see if it'll focus. And you can see it's pitted, rusted surface. This is the chain tensioner. I tried grinding it. I think if you ground on it long enough, you could fix this up, but there are replacements out there, so I'll probably take the easy way out on that. And you can see, like, I mean, this is serviceable. You could wire wheel this. I think this is a case where a wire wheel probably would have been better than the vapor honer because, as you can see, it's got some light rust on it already. Even though I blew it off right when I got it out, it flash rusts. These things I cleaned up, you can see here, like here's it's all pitted and crappy. Flip it over, I might be able to use it like that. This is you put these in here, these hold the front discs on. Maybe they didn't have Loctite back then, I don't know. But that's what these things do. I don't think any of them are really usable for a show bike. And that kind of is what I'm building, is a show bike. These things came out nice. These look terrible. I have two sets because I had two front wheels, as I noted. So there's 4 of these for each disc. There's 3 discs on the bike. There's 12 of these bolts. I could, go to the hardware store and buy bolts, but you kind of want to you want these to look nice. This is another KZ1000, but of course you can't, it's so covered with grime you can't really see it. But on a show bike, you really want the steel kind of stands out, like this will stand out. So there's a bunch of crappy ones, and then there's what I call, usable ones. These ones look pretty good. These were vapor honed. It really does a nice job cleaning. So these are all acceptable. And then, so I need 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need 4 more. So I took the 4 best. And what I'm doing is, start with like this. And I'm trying to grind it up so that it looks like this. So this actually looks pretty good. Now maybe it'll just flash rust. I mean, I hope not. It doesn't look perfect. You can see it kind of grounded away too much here and there. You can see the pits if you look real close. Is the camera focusing? Probably not focusing. How about that? Anyway, believe me, there's some little pits there you can kind of see them. So 60, 120. Then I'm skipping that one, and then there's like, this is the most abrasive Scotch-Brite kind of pad, and this is the least abrasive. So those 4 hitting 7 surfaces. There's 1, and then there's 6 surfaces on the side. Pretty damn tedious. Maybe I should show one of those. This is how tedious restoring these fucking things are. I could try to find, I did actually look for these bolts. I didn't see them just sitting there. They probably are somewhere. And then again, like I said, you can just go to a hardware store and buy a bolt that's like this. It's an M10 1.25, I think. But I don't think it would look as nice. And then what you end up with is like, the hardware store won't have enough. You'll have to go to a different store. You'll have to order some online, and then before you know it, you've got 10 different manufacturers' bolts in there. This is the most abrasive. This is 60. Can you guys see? I don't know how much of this you can see, but I'll just kind of, this will be a demo of how ridiculously tedious this is.
You can see it's so bad.
So that was 60, this is 120. skip the 120 and I'll go to this heavy duty sanding disc. Let's see what this does. You can see like I'm hitting it and I'm not keeping it super flat, and this thing is so powerful. It's like, it just took out part of the bolt, so now it looks fucked up. Red Scotch Brite. It's heavier than red Scotch Brite. And this is the final one. Okay, it's probably pretty hot. Let's see. So this is what it looked like. I hope the camera's picking this up. Right, that's what it looked like. And now it looks better. Passable? I don't know. Is it just going to rust in the open air? Probably. Do I have to polish them on top of doing all this? I don't know. But we'll see. One thing at a time. It's very, very slowly, very slow and very tedious. All right. Okay, it's time to start putting things back together. Okay, new bearings for the front wheel. Bearing installation kit. That looks like the right one. Okay. Guess that means it's seated. C-clip. Big ass C-clip. It's in. Don't forget the spacer. Okay, that's that. That's that one. So these are all cleaned up. This is all cleaned up and ready to be polished. So before you paint it, you want to polish it. So I got to polish. These are kind of complicated rims, and they look really nice when they're done up. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spokes. You're gonna polish each of those, so that's 14 spokes, and then the side piece here. Polish them all up, then individually tape up each of the spokes, there's 14 of them, and the entire part around it, then you spray it. So you gotta polish that up. Do a little inventory here of the rear bearings before I put anything together. And I don't think there was anything wrong with these bearings, actually. Maybe that one. Starting. Probably would have been fine, but again, doing a total restoration, so you definitely want to do any of the items that would naturally wear out. So bearings, rebuild the calipers, blah 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 blah. All right. So what did I get in my kit? So it looks like I got 2 of these. They are the same as that one. So the two ones are the same. Those go in the wheel, and then this one goes in the thing called the sprocket carrier. Okay, so those are the same, so that's good to go. All right, how about you? This one feels a little bit bigger, tiny bit. No. Inside looks correct. And then I have a little baggie of seals. Okay, so those seals should match up. Why clean it if I'm going to throw it away? That looks correct. And then this seal, that looks correct. Okay, so the seals look right. So this is the sprocket carrier. Obviously the sprocket mounts to this, and these insert inside the wheel. There's a rubber dampener, kind of takes the I don't know, dampens it when you nail it. All the power of the engine is transferred through these little things here to move the wheel. They're not so little. All right, so this is all cleaned up. This has to be painted. Doesn't have to be polished. I'm gonna put this thing on the floor. Floor cement. Let's see if you can. Just waiting for me to smash my finger. I am. mess. That's in. Okay, so that sucked, but usually that's pretty damn easy. I don't know why that was a pain in the ass. Don't forget the spacer. Okay. Did I put the spacer in the wrong place? What's going on here? Okay, spacer definitely does not go this way. I did forget the spacer. Alright, so now I have to take the bearing back out. The spacer must go in like that. Well, I could swear it didn't matter. Didn't matter on the front. Well, this is embarrassing. Everyone look at Carl and laugh. Dumbass. So it's funny, you would think that that is not tapered. Like, why would they have it tapered? It would be easy to be machined if it was not a taper. But it is a taper. See, that'll go so far. So this goes in this way. It doesn't interfere with the bearing surface. Why this baffle thing's here, I have no idea. Most of them don't have that. It's just this collar. So that's how it goes. Okay, so that one's in. This goes like that. Oh, yeah. Before we beat on it. The other one goes in with a C-clip to hold it. So we'll put that in. Good. There's that O-ring. Looks like the right one. Kinda. Close enough. All right. move. Why is it not moving? No. Why is it not moving? I hit it too hard. There it is. Now it's turning. Okay. Now, so that's in with a C-clip. I believe there is I think this seal goes here. So that's that one. And then the other one goes, the other seal goes in this sprocket battery. You see the sand here? That's from the vapor blaster. It uses glass beads. I always thought it was just water. Nope. That one goes in there. Good. Okay, bearing's done. Well, thank you for tuning in to part 3 of the Z1R series. Another little step towards restoring the bike. The forks were absolutely trashed. They were pretty bad. I was gonna get order some buy some different fork lowers. I mean, one of them had a big deep gouge in it. I didn't think that would come out. It came out. It seemed to come out, and it polished back up, and it you know, it kind of looks like a mirror, which is what you want. I don't think they looked that nice from the factory. I don't think they were like a mirror. They had a certain finish, and then they would clear coat them. But anyway, those had been, you know, painted black originally. Ugh. And then the wheel bearings, again, kind of tedious, but I wanted to show, you know, what it's like to do it and put one in the wrong way and show all of that work. So, thank you for tuning in, and stand by for the next episode as I restore this bike. So long.